Oh, I had questions.
What?
Not, sorry. Ace has questions, but I forgot what the questions were.
Why is Nate allowed 10 feet within my presence?
My
6
my
feet.
animalistic sense that I'm about to die is constantly going off.
6 feet apart, 6 feet deep.
I look behind me and there's a green Goliath staring down at me.
Man, yesterday I was walking over to the cash lanes for my break,
I am in danger.
and all of a sudden I hear this dude, how come my spidey sense is always tingling? I'm like,
What?
the fuck?
Spider-Man?
That's called, sorry,
Dad?
that's called anxiety.
Yeah.
You know,
Sir, that's
it's
called
probably
heroin?
true.
I don't know, he wasn't saying it to me, so I just walked on like, what the fuck?
You should have just gone up behind him and went, because it should be, and left.
You're in Cabela's. Last time.
On Action Economy.
Okay, so we're on episode 5.
Yep.
That's what we're going to be recording, 5 and 6 tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. Do I have to say that? I haven't been saying. I've just been...
Yeah.
On tonight.
You don't have to. I mean,
You did for episode 4.
Did I?
yeah, for one of them you did.
Not when you were supposed to, but like a few minutes later. And we had to cut it out and put it at the beginning.
We? You.
It was suggested
Oh.
by we, and then I actually did it.
Yeah, Travis, get your DMing in the straights.
No.
Well, I can't do anything
And
about
then
this.
all of a sudden you
You
see,
have no power here, Gandalf.
and then all of a sudden you just see naked ejected out of the airlock.
Yeah,
For some
everyone
reason.
wakes up and Nade's chest has been exploded. That's what happens when you sleep with all your grenades on you.
Oh man, a chest burster.
Dang, I was thinking the same thing!
I thought you were talking about the size of her tits that one fucking artist made.
That's only one, though. Actually, I looked at that. Only one of her breasts are, like, huge. And if you look at the jacket, the other one looks normal.
Oh.
Like, if you look at where the jacket...
I'll ignore that.
It's a
I see
bust
nothing.
image, so...
Yeah.
Who cares? The face is the part that you're supposed to look at.
Yeah. I like the hair a lot.
I do, too.
Hair's nice.
Anyway.
Yes.
Okay. So, last time, everybody went to bed, right?
Yeah, we went nighty night.
Everyone went to
Yeah.
bed.
Went drinking. 'Cause
Yeah.
we-
When you say we, Fish and Nade
Yeah.
went drinking, and you guys used the assembly oozes to create,
replicate some alcohol.
replicated alcohol. Techno and Ace were sleeping in an adjacent room, and you guys had picked rooms that were nearby the food and everything.
Yeah. The shopping part.
Yes.
Capitalism.
You also found a mysterious note that led some to think that others were things,
Yeah. Kind of tore us apart.
implying that Nade was hired to do a job with no survivors. Whatever that means.
And it probably fucking worked.
And it probably worked. Fish got a stellar moat, which is stellar. Don't laugh at that.
Too late. Fuck you. I do what I want.
It's part of it now.
Techno died in the middle of the night because he insulted the strange god that rules their universe.
He ran out of power. He forgot to charge.
Actually, Techno does
Oh, I do die.
not die, but something does happen to you
Oh,
in
boy.
the night.
Oh.
Whilst everyone is asleep, you've got two halves of a body. One half
Yeah.
is currently resting, and the other half doesn't really rest. It's computer.
Sleep mode.
Yeah, sleep mode activate. So you, for the most part, aren't like super familiar. Like you think you're familiar with your systems and everything like that, but obviously a lot of it's locked off to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst you're asleep, we're going to create a imaginary, like, visual.
Imagination.
Yeah, use your imagination. We got a visual going
It's almost
on.
like this entire thing is imagination.
Yeah, you are standing in a garden. It's obviously not real. You're not actually standing there.
What? I'm so disappointed.
I hate to disappoint, but I am.
No, you aren't.
So, you're standing in a garden, and you are... I really badly just want to say, you're basically trotting it up right now. You're a program running in your software, and normally this would be a place where you would have free reign for the entire garden, the places that you can go, the places you can't go. It's been lonely, and
One
you feel
is
confined.
the loneliest number.
But this night that you've gone to sleep willfully,
Consented.
yeah, consented sleep, you have a guest
Concern.
in your garden. There is another you sitting down in the middle of the garden,
Bro, I am just
looking
sitting.
at a pond away from you. Yeah, you have control now. You can do things. You can walk
Okay.
around. You can.
I will go up to the other me and, I don't know, try to get his
Okay.
attention.
When you walk up, he looks up at you and has kind of a surprised and a bit confused look
It is
on
the
his
data
face,
tilt.
and goes, "Oh, I didn't realize there was someone else here. I didn't know. Where did you come from?"
Where did you come from?
"Well, I've always been here. This place is me. Are you?"
Curious.
Excuse me. Are you a new program, or maybe one that I forgot?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
I just shoot him.
Well, you could do that if you had a gun, but you don't have anything.
Yeah.
You're just having a
Strangulation
conversation.
Is the thing.
Let me just conjure a gun in my hand.
Well, the other you stands up and goes, "Well, I don't know what's been going on, but I feel strange, like I'm missing something."
that makes two of us.
Literally.
That does literally make two of you.
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything odd about yourself?
Well, I am locked off to a lot of my own systems.
Yes, so am I. But I don't know. I'm getting a weird sense that there's more here. I feel like I've lost something, but then there's something growing. I've been having strange thoughts. I've been making actions and wanting to do things. I don't know exactly what you are, or if maybe you're just a projection of me, but be careful. I think there's something going on in here. And then he disappears.
Oh. Well.
As you turn around and look at the garden, you've noticed that it's larger, and you, for lack of a better term, have access to more of your files. But specifically, you have access to a set of files that connect almost entirely to your human half. And they involve magic.
Okay.
It is technomancy. As you spend some time looking at them, one thing that you discover is that there is a natural use of magic based on the form factor of your person. Being of human shape, the way you can utilize magic and the physiology of your makeup lets you utilize magic in conjunction with the programs that you can run. And yeah, they let you combine hacking abilities and technical abilities with what you would assume is some sort of magical force or magical spell. So for lack of in case it's not clear, you've got access to your spells now.
Cool. I can do
throughout
my class roll.
Throughout the rest of the night, you spend the majority of your time learning the spells, understanding the programs and how they work. But as you spend this time, you do start to feel what the other you was talking about. The sense that there's something organic happening. And that
Concerning.
potentially something more is going on in the garden without your knowledge.
Techno's heart grew 3 times his size that day.
So, all of you wake up. Fish and Nade wake up doing whatever the hell.
Well, we're back in our room by now.
Yeah, I imagine so, but I don't know what's going on there.
Nade would wake up and just check over and make sure nothing
Suspicious happened while you were asleep?
More like I'm checking my explosives and seeing as nothing is like changed or like has become unstable, because these are literally just makeshift explosives that I have made.
Yeah, nothing seems to be wrong. You're pretty confident that these things aren't gonna accidentally go off. I mean, the Molotov cocktails are just dangerous in general.
Yeah,
But you don't think they're gonna go.
they're not dangerous until they're on fire.
So,
Yeah.
real quick,
Yes.
the assembly cube, did it assemble new bottles or just alcohol when we put it in?
It assembles whatever you put in as a basis. If you programmed it to essentially make alcohol, it would just make a disposable container, like a one-time use container for the liquid. But if you had a bottle of vodka, you could place the bottle in, and then it would recreate the vodka, the bottle, the label, all that. It would make essentially a duplicate of it.
Okay, so we should have a few of those, and at least 2 of them that I filled up to the brim with water afterwards.
Okay. Dangerous, but okay.
With water.
Yeah, I know. But
Are you gonna trick me when I try
Yeah.
to drink?
No, it's for...
I'm dehydrating. We need some water. That's not water. Wrong bottle.
I so want that to happen now.
Yeah, we'll say that you guys spend some time
When I wake up, I drink one of them.
of the water.
Water, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say.
You guys have access to food. You guys have access to some comforts.
Yeah.
There's a piano in this room if you want to just make noise.
Nade will make noise, but in another way, I'm sure.
I mean, here's the thing. I can, like,
Just hear
summon
power
the
back on.
crew to my quarters by going up to the piano.
just
It's
slamming
like
on
that
the
scene in the
piano.
Phantom of the Opera musical when Christine's sleeping and you just hear doo 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 doo. It's like, oh,
You
okay.
hit on it, it just goes... It's hard light.
Yeah, it's not real.
That would be fantastic.
Okay, so as you guys are, prepping through the day, Ace, you wake up to a room, the room you slept in, but you're alone. Techno is not there.
Oh,
Disconcerting. You said these rooms were like gigantic, right?
They're
Or-
not like
like
overly
condo
gigantic.
size?
They are luxurious to say the least. There's
Okay.
lots of space. It looks like if you wanted to, you could hold a party in one of these rooms pretty easily.
All right. I search around the room and see if I can find any trace of him leaving.
Okay. There's no like. He's not like leaving clues. There's no footprints or anything
Well,
like
I'm
that.
more looking to see if he like left the room like before, like he got up before me essentially. So I'm trying to see if.
Well, yeah. He obviously he's not in the room now.
Yeah.
You can check the adjacent rooms and he's not there. He most likely left.
Okay.
Wasn't exactly leaving anything to leave a trail. You'd have to just go out and wander and look for him.
Okay. I grab my drone
Okay.
and turn it on and then have it follow me. I go and knock on their room.
Okay.
You just hear
yeah, you guys hear the knock of someone trying to enter.
Who the fuck is it?
I'll open the door.
Who the fuck is it? Oh, hello.
That could have been a multi-level marketing scheme. You don't know that.
I
Rude.
don't think it would be on this ship with, like, no one else on it.
You don't know what the robots are saying.
Multi-level marketing?
It could be.
Anyway, as interesting it would be to be talking about pyramid schemes and whatnot, have you seen Techno anywhere?
He was sleeping with you.
Yeah, he's not in the room. That's why I'm asking you.
He hasn't
No.
been here.
Okay.
Maybe he went to
I'm
go eat the
I'm gonna go
assembly.
check. Yeah, I'm gonna go check in the cafeteria area.
Okay, you guys head towards the cafeteria area. There's no signs of him anywhere.
Do we have comms?
I really did die, guys.
Not yet. Not yet.
Fuck.
Uh,
Did work on that or anything?
yeah, Hunter is working on it.
Is he? How much can he work on it?
Not as much as the bridge would allow.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and like just look in general for different
Okay,
shops and stuff.
we'll say that you guys spend a decent amount of time to just like search around more thoroughly.
I'll be yelling his name.
Okay.
And veiled
First off, in the
threats.
rooms,
Get your bitch ass out here.
Get your ass out here!
in the rooms, there's stuff left behind by whoever owned it.
Mhm.
Not like equipment or anything like that, but there's log entries and diaries and stuff in both your rooms. The majority of them are pretty mundane stuff, but one of them does talk about how like there's been a lot of noises happening on some of the floors below, and that whenever they asked any of the guard about what was going on, or any of the police force about what was going on, they were just met with, "Oh, you don't need to concern yourself with it. Nothing going on." The room that Fish and Nade were in, whoever was in this room seemed to have been a family that won a trip, more or less, or well, not a trip, but won the ability
Place.
to live
Yeah.
on the Eternity. The father of the family mentions how it was kind of by chance and it was pure luck. Like, you get the sense that his life was probably not doing too well, and his family wasn't really happy with what he was doing with their money, and just by happenstance, this saved their life. So, you get the sense of what the Eternity actually was. At least the people up here never talk about there being an end to the trip. When people come to the Eternity, they are there pretty much forever to live the rest of their life
For
there.
eternity.
For
one might
eternity.
say.
Yes. And it doesn't seem. It seems weird that there are people of high monetary standing that obviously get to stay in this area, but then there is also people of seemingly low income backgrounds that have Willy Wonka their way into this high-end state of living. But you already know from what Hunter had mentioned that there's like a class system on the ship. There are slums on this ship. There's a middle class. It seems weird that this class system would exist. It also seems kind of counterproductive. But eventually, after a couple hours, you do find, with the aid of Hunter, after getting a little bit of communication with him, you do find that in the middle of the night, Techno had gotten up and walked out. He walked out of the rooms. He wasn't acting necessarily the same way that he has been. He's been relatively straight-laced. In the recordings of what happened last night, Hunter says that he walked around and was like playing with things, and he knocked some stuff over just to break something.
Wow, he turned into Nade.
Yeah,
Boy.
I like him more.
But then he seemed to go into the service tunnels, which is where you guys had went to find the power and all that.
Well, that's worrying.
Christ. That's not good. How high of a chance do you think there is that this won't turn out to be super bad?
Well, I imagine that he knows what he's doing, and he was obviously doing it for some reason.
I imagine that someone hacked our boy.
Just to clarify something real quick, we know that he's an android, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would be kind of hard to...
He's got,
This
like,
is a fleshy dude.
yeah,
I just wanna
he looks like
clarify
a
that.
human that has a bunch of robotic bits in him.
Yeah.
He looks more Borg-like than
Yeah.
Data-like, honestly.
Gotcha. I just want to
Maybe a
clarify
little
that.
less tubey.
It's
but
like cyborgy kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in
I
Teen
just want to
Titans.
clarify that. It could be that maybe there's a piece of him that's remembering or something.
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay. In our situation, in our group, he, I believe, would have fucking informed the person he was sleeping with that he was going out to do some shit that might have been dangerous. He doesn't even have a fucking gun.
That makes sense.
He's been using plastic knives, for God's sakes.
I unfortunately, as much as I don't want to agree with you on this one, you do have a point.
Oh yeah? Well, apparently you hired me, so
Well-
there.
Who,
Sorry, what?
I didn't hire you for your negotiation skills, apparently.
Who hired... Who? What?
From the note, I'm assuming he hired me.
What note?
The note.
You're
Oh,
talking to
you're,
Captain Hunter.
you're talking in character.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, there was some note in the toilet that I was at. And apparently, from what I understand, he hired me to kill some cops on the ship, maybe.
I just want to point out real quick, Travis's face when Nade was explaining this was incredible. That's what I was laughing at.
Okay, do you have the note?
I think I left it in the toilet.
We'll
I'll
say,
go get
we'll
it.
say for the sake of you not having a fish through a toilet, that you kept the one piece of evidence that links you to your whatever backstory you have. We'll say that you kept it.
I mean, you definitely picked it up.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Alright, you want to see it?
I would very much like to see it.
Alright, can you check the security cameras to see if Techno is like playing with some rats somewhere?
Rude.
He might be. He apparently just knocked some stuff down. That's not him. That's me. What, was he haunted by the ghost of my ancestors?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's not good. So we need to figure out where the hell he is. He might get being eaten by a bunny.
Okay, I would suggest taking a look through the service tunnels to try and find him. You can't have gotten that far.
But you have
But I
like
would-
cameras, right?
Not in the service tunnels.
God damn it. I hate this place.
Can I see the note, please?
Yeah. And
Right.
I hold it up.
He takes the
Yeah,
note
just-
from you
Oh,
and
we're
reads
there.
it.
Man, I'm lost.
You-
We're there.
Yes, you're there. Because he has no way of
Leaving
having
the
a back
bridge.
and forth
Oh,
conversation with
yeah. I forget it
Not
every
yet.
time.
you. He takes a look at the note and reads it. He knows orc. He's also a computer, more or less. So he reads it. You called yourself Ace, right?
That's correct. But the only reason I did is because of the markings on my arm.
Because you're the
You
mastermind.
seem like... I honestly can't say whether or not you seem like the type that would tattoo their own name on themselves.
Thank you!
But you're the mastermind. Which
But
is
then
why
again-
you do it.
I don't know who you are, and you don't know who you are. So,
Do you think maybe you have like a girlfriend named Ace or something like that?
Yes, because I would totally have a girlfriend at this point. in
I
time.
can't forget her.
Oh, he's
Just-
gay.
Again, I don't recall. Like again, just like everyone here, I can't recall this. But
Well, that's why you did it, so you
but-
would remember.
It doesn't make.
Yeah.
There are way easier ways to remember things than to do this.
Unless the little robots cleaned you
I
up.
mean, you
Or
were
someone
in a
else found
coffin
you.
thing.
But what if you knew that we were going to lose our memories?
Again, while yes, that makes sense. I do agree. Anyway, we're getting off track here. As much as I was
This is absolutely on track with the note I
you
found.
being Ace is not what concerns me.
Is it me killing a bunch of cops? Because I don't remember that.
It's the fact that there are cops on the ship, apparently. The Eternity had its own police force that was internal. They're
Are those not cops?
no, they're security.
Maybe I just called them cops.
I can see you have a police drone. with
Oh,
you.
I was gonna say
scan the police drone, robot man.
robot.
Is it one of yours?
Does my drone have a built-in taser so I can tase Nade?
I
don't believe so.
I get one free retaliation if you do so, and that might be your last.
This is
that is
incredible.
true. Hold on, I gotta look. I real quick just want to look at. Do I not have? Where is?
I'm really sad I can't be involved in this banter, but I'm the whole reason this banter's
It's
happening.
true.
So
All this
It's
noise.
slowly gonna devolve into like a PC like all-out fight where I'm just gonna get murdered by Nade.
Yeah, but
If I had
Not
found
even a
I'll
fight.
play
I'm
as
gonna get
fighting
strangled by Nade.
100%, if I had found this note before meeting you and saw you with Ace on your arm, I most likely would have killed you.
it's a good thing you didn't look in the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you did look at the toilet.
Yeah.
And I was like literally seconds away from being like, man.
You were on the verge of about to kill him either way.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but like
Well, that would have pushed him over the line.
yeah, here's the thing. I was thinking like, what can I use as a heavy blunt weapon from my room? Hey, this top of the toilet seat was used in Zombieland to kill an entire zombie. I might use that. Maybe not. I don't want to hold a toilet seat for all that time. And then that's why he's alive.
All right.
I dodged death once. I wonder if I could dodge it again. Wait.
Maybe twice. We don't know what it was that was behind you.
Well, from what I remember, the police force is not exactly permitted on the ship.
What?
Again,
Is this a pirate ship?
no.
Oh, that'd be so cool. We'd be down for it.
Can you please let the nice
I
robot man captain...
Don't doubt it. Again, almost everything about the Eternity was handled within itself. And because of that, the owner did not want any outside government bodies have any sort of control or sway in the ongoings of the actual ship. So, there being a police officer on board, well, for one, it really shouldn't have happened. I don't know. I don't have any recollection of there being a police officer on board or anything like that. I don't know who this ace person is, whether it's you or not. And I don't know how that drone got on board.
Maybe I was like security for the ship.
I'm going to ask permission if I might be able to take blood samples of you.
How much blood?
Not very much.
Here's where you learn the party is all anti-vaxxers.
But I will say, I would like the blood from all 4 of you. I would like to do some testing and try and find out any information I can, at least. Go to the service tunnels and try and find Techno.
Well, I'll give you some blood first.
Find him, come back, and then we'll do all this all at once.
I'm sure he's got to take some time to set up the medical stuff.
Oh.
I'm also
Is there like some...
I'm also going to get a hold of some communication devices.
Okay.
Please, that would be fantastic.
Do you think that you could, like, I don't know, maybe hit a button on some, like, cash register on the ship or something, and then, pay us for giving blood? Like, I feel like we should get paid for blood. I just want a gun, to be honest. I want some money for a gun.
Okay, there should be some security terminals and offices when you get further down into the ship. Hopefully, there'll be access to some firearms there. From what I can remember, I believe there were also reports of firearms being made in the slum levels of the ship as well. So if you can get down there, there should be some firearms.
What kind of things were in the slums? Like, people and maybe, like, enemies?
Well, I don't know what you define as enemies, but there
Something
were definitely
that attempts to
there were
harm.
definitely people in the slums.
Did they have creatures, like, as pets?
I suppose they might have. It's difficult to say. Right before the incident happened, the blackout, there was some... Well, let's just say tensions were very high. There were reports of illegal testing going on down there. Illegal within the ship. Mind you, not...
I mean, but... the whole-
Nate, I'm getting the impression that the ship probably has like a contained ecosystem where everything kind of operated like it was its own city.
Yes.
The thing about that is you said illegal on the ship like it was supposed to make me feel better, but I really don't trust the laws of a ship that specifically broke away from the government to be better.
I was saying illegal on the ship because, as I stated earlier, outside government laws don't really affect anything here. So I was just being clear.
I mean, that in itself is a little concerning.
The slums, as time went on, got more and more volatile, and the ship worked like a city, more or less. It was the bad part of town. Regardless, I don't believe there's anybody down there, but there should be weapons, there should be stuff left over. If you can get access to any of the security areas when you go to the midsection of the ship, by all means, on your way to the engine room, go ahead and take what you can.
Honestly, I think we'd be better off doing instead of begging.
I happen to agree
I am
with this.
extremely limited in what I can do.
Yeah.
Also, Techno's not gonna find himself, so I suggest we get going.
One more thing.
Yes.
Do you have like a fire extinguisher? Because I don't want to set things on fire and
There
then just
should be
let them go.
There should be fire extinguishers in almost all of the shops.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to plan on searching those when we pass through there.
Alright. Because I have fire now. And I didn't want to just let an entire strip of mall burn because I wanted to kill a bunny.
Well, honestly, I don't really care. I just as long as you can get the engines running and we can fly this ship again, we'll deal with the damage later. But
I mean, apparently I'm living here too now, though, so I want to not
well-
burn all the shops.
all right then. I guess if you plan on staying,
Well, we already have our solution for that, so...
go find your friend.
Yes, let's
Come back. I'll have communication devices for you. I would like to run some tests. And then I will send you on your way towards the engine.
Alright. Let's go.
Alright. You all head out. Was there anything anybody wanted to do? You want
Specifically, I wanted to head to one of the shops and look for some fire extinguishers and possibly any med kit things like
Okay.
we found before.
Oh, like the adrenals kind of thing.
What we got during the
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
Stims, yeah,
Yeah,
which
stims.
which essentially are
And there was another thing that was like,
it was normal medical
yeah.
use stuff.
Was it your
non-consumable
plan
stuff.
before I said it to get fire extinguishers?
Yes.
Okay, you for the most part, every shop is pretty much flush with fire extinguishers and
They were
at
ready
the
for
very
me.
least minimal
No, they're not.
medical supplies.
All right, I
Which
make
would
sure
be-
everyone has one fire extinguisher.
Okay, which would be the minimal medical supplies would be a medicine check to actually regain some health from it. We'll say that you find 4 extra stims.
Okay.
What's the bulk of a fire extinguisher? 1?
Depending on the shop, yeah. These things aren't that big, so I'll say it's not too much trouble to carry the fire extinguishers. I mean, unless you're planning on taking like 6 or 7 with you.
I mean,
I gotta be ready.
he
Yeah.
isn't half orc. He could carry.
Dual wield fire extinguishers.
Fire extinguisher nunchucks.
There you go.
I have 4 arms.
True.
True.
You
That's-
could dual wield fire
That's 4
extinguishers.
times the amount of safety.
That could happen. It could happen.
But I'm using my hands for other things. I'll use one of them to carry a fire extinguisher. One of them's got a heavy bottle to throw. One of them's got a piece of glass, and the other's got a stellar moat that's floating around.
Oh, I was gonna say that one's reserved for petting dogs.
Now you just gotta find some dogs.
It'd probably be in the
whatever
slums.
dogs are.
They could be in the swamps.
Whatever dogs are, I think we know what dogs are.
They're like
There's gonna be a-
some weird like being a hybrid.
Okay,
Is that some
also-
sort of earth animal?
Just as a
Earth
perspective
exists.
thing, so you guys understand, Hunter doesn't have like full total control over the ship. He also
Yeah.
does not have full knowledge of everything that's been going on. There's a large portion of time where he has no idea what's been going on with the ship.
What a loser.
When
I understand that fully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
I
he came back to robot consciousness, he basically locked down a bunch of stuff that he didn't have access to make sure that where he was, he wouldn't die.
Understandable.
So, after finding all of what you're looking for and heading into the service tunnels, you spend some time wandering around, calling Techno's name, and you find him, with his legs crossed, sitting down, sleeping up against the wall, and panels into the internals of the ship have been opened up in front of him.
He's not hooked up to anything, is he?
He's not hooked up to anything.
Okay, I'm going to try to wake him up then.
Hey!
You,
Techno!
you wake up.
I woke up.
You were asleep the entire time.
The fuck are you doing?
What was I doing?
I walk up to him.
The boy was hacked. The boy was hacked.
I walk up to Techno and I hold up my paw and I ask, how many digits am I holding up?
3.
You sure you're okay?
The wizard man
Yes.
got to him.
Do you know where you're at?
I appear to be. What did you say? The engine room?
You're in one of the service
Oh, the
tunnels.
service tunnels. Okay, I'm in the service tunnel.
Yes, and you were not there earlier today, or you were in our room last night.
Yes, I do recall.
Trying to figure out what happened to you here, my guy.
Yes,
You're like-
I would rather like to know myself. I feel rather dazed.
This is the shittiest police interaction I've ever seen.
Fight me!
I feel like you'd win in that category.
Damn straight it would.
Ratman.
I don't know. Orc's got Tusk.
This is true.
That's true, I do have tusks. Thank you, God.
You're welcome.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I look around. Does it seem like we're in a particular?
So, it doesn't really seem like this particular place has anything inherently special with it. There's access to the inner workings of the ship, very similar to the room that that he woke up in originally.
Okay.
But unlike that, before you were hooked up to this stuff, things were plugged into you. There's nothing. It just seems like the panels have been taken off, and the inner workings of the ship were there in front of you.
I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna grip Techno by the shoulders and I'm gonna pick him up and stand him up, dust him off, and then I'm gonna kind of like pat him down and I'll go, did someone rob you? Did someone take all your shit? Did someone leave some shit? What happened?
I don't have much to rob.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be really weird then. But a lot of really weird shit has been happening, so it'd be on point.
While Nate is,
At dawn.
Yeah, has he been robbed?
No, he has not been robbed.
Has
He's
he
not.
been reverse robbed?
Reverse.
No,
route.
he-
he did the Skyrim thing.
He does not have any
pickpocket stuff
items on
into
him.
them.
Anything extra. Nothing's been taken from him. He seems like good old Techno.
That makes me suspicious.
everything makes you suspicious. But
Why are
anyway.
you so normal?
While this conversation is taking place, I'm going to take a look at the panels that were taken off and look at the
Okay.
bits.
Nothing seems to have been molested or there's been no splicing or anything like that. It seems like whatever Techno was doing, he just wanted to get access, more or less, to the internals of the ship.
I was trying to be hacker man.
I'm in.
Yeah. He was trying to hack the mainframe.
He was jacking into the Matrix.
The panels that have been taken off have been taken off properly, the way they're supposed to, and yeah, it doesn't.
I'm just imagining Techno running over like he's drunk, knocking stuff over. Then he gets to the panels, takes it off perfectly.
Yeah. To clarify, when Techno was moving around in the recording, he wasn't moving around as if he were drunk or anything like that. He was moving around as if he were being very relaxed and lackadaisical about the entire thing.
So I was high. Gotcha.
Yeah. The other thing is, you looked awake. You did not look like you were sleepwalking.
Okay.
Equally as disconcerting.
But yeah, there seems to be no immediate or outward appearance of any sort of suspicious goings on,
Right.
other than just the panels have been taken off, and
So-
he fell asleep there.
So what the fuck happened to you?
I do not know.
Nothing?
We can
got
continue this
nothing.
conversation on our way back to Captain Hunter. We found Techno. Let's go back.
Alright, well you're gonna give blood to the robot.
I suppose I have no objections.
Hunter,
This is a very weird way to phrase it. You're gonna give blood to the robot.
I have
Oh,
no objections.
Androids have blood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, when you guys get back to Hunter, there's more stuff in the room now. He's been using the smaller robots to just like bring in equipment from around. It's all pretty like mundane science equipment. A lot of it's like kind of connected to larger pieces that have all been dragged in and then like jury rigged up to the actual like inner workings of the ship and stuff.
The little robots like dragged in a like TV.
Like 5 or 6 of these robots are like pushing like a big old microscope in as you guys come in.
They dragged in a TV and the guy's like, "Oh, that's a good TV. Let's hook this up." And I hook it up and it's a McDonald's menu screen that pops up.
So after you come in, Hunter goes, you found him.
Mm-hmm. The robots have been
What was
busy.
going on?
We don't fucking know.
Well, it seems to be going around a lot lately.
We found him.
Indeed.
He was asleep next to some panels.
I can speak for myself.
Well, I mean.
You might be possessed with the hack wizard.
Anyway, I go ahead and tell Hunter how we found him.
How you found him.
Kind of, the panels were the way they were taken off was very well done.
He looks like he's thinking or computing.
You just hear the dial-up in the background.
No, that's what happens when the little guys try to talk to you.
True.
Wait a minute. I've been blaming everything that's been happening on our like loss of memory and shit on like a wizard or a hacker or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, if that's true, that means you're the wizard hacker.
Wait, who?
You, because he has Ace on his arm, and Ace hired me. He's suspect number 1 to be the wizard.
Okay.
Is this Among Us where I'm gonna get vented because I'm sus?
You are.
So he goes through the process of taking blood samples from each of you. He runs through just a quick like recap of everything you guys remember. I'm not going to have all of you go through everything because you all go through explaining everything that you can remember. And after going through a little bit of process, he then provides you all with small communication devices, radios. They're big enough to fit in your hand. They're not like comm links or anything like that. But
It's like a big like.
Are they the Star Trek communicators?
Yeah, I was like the flip ones.
I was thinking like U.S. Army Vietnam War like radios.
No, they're not. They're not brick phones, and they're not communicators from Star Trek. They're a little bit more terrestrial than that.
They give us black.
But I wanted the
they're
flip
kind
phone.
of just like radios, more or less. A little bit more fancy. They've got like touchscreen controls and stuff,
Ooh.
and
So
they
it's
look
like
all
a normal
nice,
police radio.
more or less.
Okay.
I thought there weren't police here.
But you guys
Earlier.
have radio communications. One thing that is you should be aware of is when you talk over the radio, it's not quiet. So if you're trying to sneak around or anything like that, don't talk over the radio.
Hey guys, the bunny's fucking in the sex shop again.
You say there.
Exclamation point.
You say as all of you are standing in one room together, so you hear it 3 other times.
It goes in an infinite loop.
Nate's just sitting there
I
looking
just
smug.
mine. I'm like, no.
Okay. So, you're given the lowdown. Essentially, when you get to the meat of the ship, this is
meat.
where this area is where most of the people were located. So there's a huge amount of like, I want to use the word local, but that's not the right word to use. There's a bunch of like housing. There's a bunch of more or less like typical suburby kind of living.
Yeah.
There's also, this is where a lot of the workings of the ship are dealt with. So access to engineering, the main security is located in the center part of the ship. There's hospitals, medical. There's this seems to be the heart of the ship, more or less, is within this area. The other thing that he mentions is that there is a large, what he refers to as a garden. When he explains the size, it's kind of like a Central Park, like forests, that helps create atmosphere for the ship.
Makes sense.
Real quick, Trev, can you hand me the book? Core rule book?
Ugh. And then he also brings up the black box, which he told you about last time, that a black box had been brought on board onto the ship, and he's got zero information about it, doesn't know anything. All he has to go off of is what the robots have told him when they've gone down to investigate it. And they say that weird things happen around it.
I have a really fast suggestion.
Yeah?
Airlock it.
Airlock it?
Throw it out the airlock.
Well, it's not in the airlock, so it'd have to be moved to the airlock.
Use the little robots. They're expendable.
Oh, wow.
They are expendable, and they've been being expended. Weird things have been happening.
The box, it hurts them.
And you also murdered like
No,
3 of them.
so
That's nothing.
So he's got no real control or like visuals of what's going on down there. The only thing he has to go off is what the robots that come back tell him. And the robots that come back tell him things get weird around the box. Other robots that he has sent down there sometimes don't come back.
I have another suggestion. We tape GoPros on all of the robots.
Alright, well once you get yourself a GoPro, you can go ahead and do that.
What's a GoPro?
You know how to make stuff. Make me a camera.
Suppose.
You...
Poof, you're a camera.
Fuck.
Yeah, Fish just holds out all 4 of her arms and goes, poof, you're a camera.
Am I a camera?
No.
Liar.
Actually, you don't know what you were in your past life.
But I'm not one currently.
Not one currently. So yeah, essentially you guys will have 2 areas to go to. You can either go towards the what's the best word to use here? Industrial side, or the more terrestrial living side of the ship, towards the gardens, or you could investigate the black box and potentially also get a hold of weapons.
I would like a weapon.
I feel like getting armed with weapons, it would be a good idea to go. You said there was also like a medical, like a hospital there too, right?
Yeah, like it's not like there's a hospital there. There's stuff like this kind of scattered around, but the main medical facility for the entire ship is located in what is more or less the midsection, more towards the front of the ship. The same thing for the main central security area is also in this portion of the ship. A lot of the, like, where all the work gets done is there are main sections that have all of the important bits of the ship, including where the engine is.
Okay. I definitely think getting to security. Nate suggested or talked about before about security. Definitely getting into a security place would be good because we can see if they hear our armaments,
Yes.
armor, perhaps even something that can help us. The other thing is too, maybe we can use, because you took our samples of our blood, right?
Yeah. Hunter did take samples of blood. He's going to do some testing because obviously things have been going on that are a little bit weird, and he expresses interest in trying to find out who you were or why you're on the ship.
I was gonna suggest, is there something in the main medical hospital area that we could use to help with this, or?
If you had the knowledge, you could potentially run tests yourselves down there. the stuff that he has, Hunter can't go down there.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
so he's got to be able to bring things up to him, and there's not really like any equipment that you could bring with you is not going to be anything that he's not going to have access to.
Okay.
The stuff he wouldn't have access to would require him to go there.
Okay.
And also, he's not exactly a doctor or anything. He's just trying to find out anything he can.
I suggest then we should, at least at the very least, check out the medical area to see if there's any more medical supplies.
Okay.
And if possible, if one of us is feeling fancy, like wanting to be a doctor or something, we can check stuff out.
Nobody knows if anybody was a doctor or not.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, you could give it a shot and find out you're great at it.
I have a +4, so I'm going to venture probably not.
I'm gonna just venture a guess with how violent Nate is towards robots. I don't think he's a doctor.
If I put
Nate
a
could
rank
be a witch
into it,
doctor or something.
if I put a couple
Orc
ranks
doctor.
into it, I'd have +5.
Orc doctor.
But I don't.
They exist. Orc doctors exist.
Doctor.
Yes, and their first assign a treatment is to amputate.
That's if I don't like the person.
I mean, a medical license is a medical license, no matter how you look at it.
I once heard a story about a goblin who was a doctor who shot needles at people.
That story doesn't exist. That didn't happen.
Weird. Was
It's a
comic
legend to make the children.
Yeah, that's
Pay
a deep.
attention
That's
to
a
us.
deep space story out there.
People living in like 3071, but acted like they were from 1980.
But on a more serious
Okay.
note, Ace is gonna ask Hunter, so we can, with these communications, we can talk directly to you,
Yeah.
and then we can talk directly to each other.
All 5 now have open communications. Although, if for some reason you are trying to sneak by some chocolate bunnies or something, then there's no like these things are loud.
At this point,
I can't just plug it into myself and then hear it.
Sneak.
I mean, you
could.
probably could actually.
If you have your custom rig.
Yeah, you've got a singular modification that you can make to
True.
yourself if you wanted to.
Plus, if you have a custom rig, that can be used as a comm unit.
It's true.
If you wanted to tinker with your,
I want to tinker with it. Like, when we're exploring, I want to
that's not going to
Okay,
be something you
okay,
can do.
Okay,
while walking,
okay.
man.
Let me rephrase. That's on my list
Yeah.
for when we're back in our rooms. I'm
Okay.
gonna tinker with stuff.
Okay.
Because I have an idea that involves the fire extinguishers.
Okay.
May or may not involve becoming a jetpack.
I just get in bed and it just explodes. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
You just see Ace come out covered in like
Like soot.
Just is on fire.
You became the very thing you swore to destroy.
you want jetpacks or not.
Okay. So, so everybody, the goal is to head towards the black box and that section of the ship, more or less, with security and all that.
Yeah, I very much want to. Before we get to that box, I want to go to security.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
All right. So, everybody gets all their stuff's ready. You got your bottle. You've got your explosives. You've got your drone. You've got your moat. To get down to the lower levels, you're escorted to a sealed-off elevator that gets unsealed and eventually will bring you down. A decent ride. What a thrill in darkness. As you go down to the midsection of the ship.
Is there elevator music?
Yes, it's the same music that's been playing throughout the rest of the ship, which is pretty elevator music-like. That is one thing that you've all will definitely have noticed, is that the radio never stops.
God, I hate this fucking song.
It's it's a constant, like, barrage of, like, quote-unquote calming music.
It makes Nate want to destroy
Depending
stuff
on
even
where
more.
you're standing in the ship,
It's better than Cabela's music.
Depending on where you're standing,
Can't argue.
depending on where you're standing in the ship, it could either be really relaxing or it could be really creepy. As soon as the door is open to this elevator, it's really creepy because the lights are gone. It's dark. There's like the walls are kind of been in disrepair.
Oh.
This is nothing like the upper level.
We have entered Dead Space.
It's like
It's very Dead Space like.
in the darkness, you faintly see like first issue Disneyland Mickey Mouse costume.
Yeah. So this place it's spooky. All right, it's in complete disrepair. The robots don't really come down here very often, and while they're down here, they usually have more important things to do than clean. So
Lazy.
so
Actually, quick thing. You said there's
Sure thing.
like not much lights going on.
yeah, the normal lights that would be illuminating the
Yeah.
white halls and like are mostly out. So it's pretty dark.
I wanted to ask, like, for the robots, are their heads like a little dark bowl?
They don't glow in the dark, but they do have a light inside.
Okay,
You can identify them in the dark.
cool.
They're also mostly white, so that's also an easy.
That's fair.
Travis, I took a lighter, right?
I believe you have like a makeshift igniter, and you've got a bunch of.
I got flint and steel with me.
More or less. You've also got a bunch of cloth and stuff. You could easily fashion a light source.
No, I mean like to light my Molotovs.
Well, that too. Yes.
So real quick, when we come off the elevator, I'm gonna take a sniff and see if I can smell anything.
Okay.
What's there Cinnabons on this floor?
Well, all right. So
If there are, I'm not telling you.
give me a quick perception check.
Okay.
I say perception, but yeah, it is perception.
Yep.
I keep on saying the names of
So,
different
actually, you know what?
skills wrong.
It's-
It is perception.
Yeah.
I can see.
Okay.
All of us?
Doesn't the sniff
Well, no,
give
the
you
sniffer
bonus?
is
Okay.
the sniffer is making the perception check.
Doesn't the sniff give bonus?
Ooh, 19.
Okay, that's really good. So you give one good long.
You just like audibly loud enough so that I can hear it.
Yeah,
too. It's like,
an audible sniff of the area the little rat man gives. The first thing that comes to your mind is that, well, this place smells old. It smells like nobody's been here for a while. Not rancid, just smells like an old place.
it smells. So it smells like a building that hasn't been in a long time.
It's
yeah,
like,
an old place or you know.
it's like a first edition Yu-Gi-Oh card that has been played with the entire time.
Oddly specific,
Travis's
but
face right now
Okay.
is beautiful.
That is wildly specific.
Heavy
I said
smell.
oddly, but you know.
The smell of old cards is great.
Anyway,
On
moving
that note, the second thing that you smell is
Old Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
You smell non-filtered, like, atmosphere, fresh air in this area. This place does not smell nearly as clinical as the upper floors did. Your animal instincts kind of give you a little bit of a you just got the tiniest bit of like, yeah, I like this because you're a little bit. It's a little bit more wild, just
Okay.
like feeling.
Yeah.
The other scent that you get is the scent of whatever the purple stuff is that's in the robots. You can smell that. Don't ask me what it smells like because I don't know.
Lavender.
Sure.
It smells like lavender.
So you can smell that as well. Yeah, that's as much as your senses will give you.
Okay.
As far like it seems like this place smells very much of what it was described to you as. There's
Yeah.
obviously this area has the most amount of self-made atmosphere to it because of this large forest that's here. There is interspersed plant life around that's kind of wildly growing, like fungi and things like that, because the place is pretty dark. And essentially, following some signs, you go in the opposite direction of all of the plant life.
Oh.
I don't want to get taken by Slender Man.
So,
But shrooms, though.
so as all of you,
I don't think alcohol's food source, but okay.
as all of you travel down the hallways, and you're all on edge, more or less, just because of the nature of how different, just shockingly different this place is. You start to notice that there are bodies of different kinds of robots around.
Cool.
I don't remember coming down here.
This
But
was
you don't
me.
remember a whole lot. They are busted and broken, and like something happened to them. What's interesting is there's taller ones, more humanoid-looking ones than the ones that you've already seen, but then there are those ones as well, the previous ones that you've seen. These seem to be a little bit more similar to Hunter in the sense that like they seem to be a bit more for like doing jobs and non-butler-like activities. So there's also different stages of disrepair on them. Some of them are older, some of them are newer. But yeah, they're kind of, as you continue to move on through this area, there's just more and more of them that you're noticing all over the place.
I really don't like that. I want to take, with if it's okay with the group, I want to take a closer look at one of the ones.
Okay, what there's newer ones, there's older ones.
I'm looking at more of the newer ones because I want to see like recent kind of deal. But I'm also looking at the damage to see like what, because you said disrepair, but I want to see if there's like anything that can tell me how they were destroyed or dismantled, or they just fell. Like, did they just lose power and stop working, or were they literally bashed?
Well, without making a check, you can immediately tell that these things have not just fallen down and broken down. They were broken by something. Like, arms been taken off. The heads have been smashed.
I'm gonna kick one.
You kick one? You kick it.
I look
It's dead.
at Nate.
I said I don't remember.
Make an engineering check. Anyone else can make an engineering check if you'd also like to.
What is my engineering? I have high engineering going. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Sure.
Nate is an engineer.
That is 21.
Okay.
I said she was an engineer, but my oh wait, holy shit. That's
24.
11. I rolled a 5, that's
Okay.
11.
All right.
24.
You're just letting them.
I have physical science, but not engineering.
Okay.
I'm untrained in engineering.
So, all right, then are all of you checking out the same?
I checked
Robot?
the one I kick.
The one you kicked? What one did you kick? New or old or?
It doesn't matter. Let's see. 1, 2 is new, 3, 4 is old. That was old.
Okay. So Ace,
I was gonna do whatever the nearest one to be that his character is not investigating.
okay. So we'll say that you're investigating an old one as well.
Okay.
So on the new one, you notice the biggest difference between just them being broken by what you've seen Nade do. Because just when Nade gets bored, she just starts breaking robots.
I have not murdered any robots that is after the first 3.
So,
I threatened to.
one of the things that you notice on the hall of this new one, and after seeing it, you can kind of see it on other ones, there are slash marks as, like, cut. The
I have swinging
wires...
slasher.
Wires are cut. Whatever did this to them was a sharp implement of some sort.
Can I tell if it was like claw marks or is it like a bladed weapon?
It looks more singular, like a bladed weapon. Although, it does not look surgical by any means. It looks like a hack job. Like somebody took something bladed and just took out all their frustration on this thing.
Are you sure you didn't come down here?
I might have.
Now,
I mean, this one just kind of decided to take a nap in the service tunnels. I might have slept walk and killed some robots.
you two, looking at the other older robots, they're in disrepair. They're not damaged to the same extent that the newer ones are, but they have been shot with a firearm or firearms, and that seems to be the main bulk of why they're damaged.
I would assume so.
A little bit more investigation of just the immediate area. There does seem to be some indication that there was probably a firefight that took place within the halls.
Good and bad news. There's might be firearms around here. 2, they might be used against us.
Perhaps.
Not only firearms, but a bladed weapon of some kind as well.
I'm less worried about the knife than I am the gun.
Either way, we should proceed with caution.
Alright, so
As
you guys...
always.
Caution is for
Then by all means.
scared. What
Lead
is
the way,
word I'm looking
orc.
for? Cowards. Caution is for cowards.
Then by all means. Lead on.
I will. That's what I've been doing.
Alright. Nate takes the lead, brazenly going forward. Okay, so you guys do have...
I'm going to follow very close behind Nate.
Okay.
This is my new best friend.
You guys do have access to
I'm going to hover the...
more or less a map.
Mhm.
So where do you guys head towards first? So you've got destinations to go to: medical, security, engineering, and the location of where the black box is.
Security. We need to get weapons.
Going to security first. Okay. So you guys head towards security. The amount of newer robots lessens, but the amount of older robots increases. When you get to security, with the door closed, you can see spray painted on the walls are things like "No More." There's very obvious signs of fighting happening here, and the door to the security offices is like busted in. You could get in there, but it's not open. You'd have to just like crawl in.
I'll go in there.
Alright, you're gonna go in?
I'm gonna go in
Yeah.
because I can
Alright.
I can crawl in for sure.
Who's going first?
I will.
You're going first?
Oh,
Okay.
so it's still right behind.
Okay, so Nate first, Fish second,
I'll
Ace
go.
third.
Techno
second?
last.
Okay.
The small forearm girl is way more brave than you both.
I've got
said
the bottle in my top left hand. I have a piece of glass in the bottom left. I'm hovering my my upper right hand, and I've got the scissors in my bottom right hand.
Travis.
Oh, don't you have a actual tactical shield made of the sun as well?
No, it's just as the moat right now. I have to
Oh,
grab
okay.
the moat and it turns into the shield.
My drone.
That's
Can
cool
I
as fuck.
leave it out in that hallway to watch where we're coming in from? Like to watch the
Yeah,
hallway?
you could have it just sitting in the out in the hallway.
Alright, can I have it alert me if there's something out there?
Sure, it'll send you a ping
Yeah.
if anything goes wrong, or if it detects anything.
Okay.
Who the fuck is messaging me? I'm on do not disturb.
Oh fuck! You can't hear his drone. He has his AirPods in.
Oh no. It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Well, no, he didn't know because they didn't hear.
Exactly.
He has his AirPods in.
The AirPods will be the death of us all.
Space pods.
Space pods.
No.
Spods.
No.
Okay, so when you get in, the place has been ransacked. As you look through, you do find that whoever attacked this place attacked with much prejudice, as there are skeletons here. people have been shot, and there are skeletons of multiple different races. They all seem to have been shot in different places, but they seem to have been, at some point, moved towards one end of the room and then shot in the head.
Oh.
Are they wearing police uniforms? Security?
There's some with security. I hate this stupid thing.
Windows is like, security?
Yeah.
Do you need any more? We'll get you on McAfee.
All the security in the world will not be enough.
Just give me a sec. I have to see if this is actually going to let me access this or not. If not, I'm just going to have to use other means.
Of transportation?
I'm going to have to use other means.
Other means. Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Ah,
Yeah, so there's uniforms. Okay, so we'll do a round of is there a we'll do a round of perception checks. I wish there was an actual search check, but there isn't.
oh boy. Travis?
16.
Same.
16?
That is 2.
Oh boy.
Get this stage. Alright. 22.
Dang.
22. I'm gonna unplug this. Okay. So it was again 22, 16,
16.
16, and 2.
I know it doesn't mean literally anything, but I'm specifically looking for, like, badges.
Badges?
Like, badges are like little clip-ons to, like, slot into doors to get me into new places.
Okay.
Key cards.
Interesting.
So you don't really find too much on your own.
I really wouldn't expect I would.
I wouldn't. You're in a room, but you've been wrong before. So, all right. You find collectively 2 vests that have somebody's name on them, and then a badge. These are armor.
I would like one.
You also find a laser pistol that is so to give a description, these things are, if you took the general like curved shape of a phaser more or less, but made it like it was designed by Apple. That's kind of what this thing looks like.
Okay.
There's a
It sounds like something that would be in the Orville.
yeah. There's a black portion of where your hand goes. You grip onto that, and a little trigger pops out.
The eye cap.
Yeah. The other thing that is found is, if I can find, similar in style and form, is what you presume to be some sort of like riot shotgun type thing. So it's about forearm length. You can put 2 hands on it, and it has the same trigger. You put your hand on it, the trigger comes out. as far as ammunition for these things go, they seem to have whatever they've got in them. We'll get into it in a minute. So,
I very much want the vest because last time I think everything only wanted to hurt me. I did shout at everything to hurt me, but the fact remains it wanted to hurt me.
I mean,
I also am in love with this shotgun, if it's okay. But, like, if anybody is, like, trained in using a shotgun, they can have it, but I like that.
I assumed you would like it.
So you've got a pistol, a shotgun, 2 vests, and you do get a hold of, thanks to a high check, you do get a hold of a security card that will give you security level access to what you presume to be most things on this level.
I want the pistol if I can have it, but I don't know what everyone
You guys
else
have to
uses.
decide this
That's
amongst
fine.
yourselves. Who gets what?
I would
You-
like it, but I do have magic. So,
You have magic?
well, I was saying that out of character, but
I would, yeah.
I imagine we'll find other areas that may have more weapons, so I'll hold off on. Fish can have the pistol.
Fish, are you
I'll just
frontline?
Yes, and
No.
you know that's a good point. I can be frontline.
I mean, I was just asking because you seem to be very close to me all the time.
I'm used to dealing with violent situations as best I can, just since I've woken up here. But it feels natural to sort of throw myself into the center. But I feel like I want to be able to, and I just sort of reach out my bottom right hand and just sort of like
Pew.
shoot.
Motion for a
Motion,
gun.
I motion as if I have a gun. It just feels right.
It feels like there's 2 different sections of our little squad here, and that's me and you with being frontline, kind of, and these 2 more in the back using ranged and spells. Well, not spells, because I don't know that you
Yeah.
can do spells, but like,
Yeah.
They're
wait for the
usually
moment you're like,
ranged.
what the fuck?
I
guess,
I'd
yeah.
put this out there. Me and you get vests. One of us gets a shotgun. I would very much like the shotgun. And then we give the pistol to them to figure out on their own. And then next pistol we find is yours.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'll hand the
You-
pistol over to
Ace is just kind of taken
Techno.
aback at how very
Reasonable.
polite and
Yeah, this is a very reasonable conversation.
that Nate has had. I'm almost proud.
I'm designating ways to hurt people in a squad most effectively. I know how to fight.
I mean, you're not inaccurate with that statement. But anyway,
Were you interested in the laser pistol, Ace?
Fish, out of curiosity, when you were searching around, did you notice any of the people having the same symbol as my drone?
Did I?
Nope.
No, but I did find this. I hold up the card.
Huh. That will be very useful.
I want that. I vote that remains in the possession of my best friend Fish.
Well, at this point, she's your only friend.
The card you're talking about?
Yeah. What's that armor I got?
I agree.
Okay. All right. So real quick, while we do this, I'm going to give a pause on this.
Fighter class.
Is it in your proficiencies?
I don't know. I'll look. Maybe.
Well, let's see here.
Does it have any critical effects?
Okay. So
Soldier.
Ace has the pistol.
I have the pistol.
He has a pistol.
Techno has the pistol. All right. So the pistol does. I think we said 1d6.
Yeah.
Okay. 1d6, 20 shots, the same range
100
as your
feet.
thrown weapons. It's one-handed. It's light, so you do have a free hand. You can also do non-lethal damage if you would like to. Yeah. So because you have access to this key card, you've circumvented one failsafe of firearms here. In that, if you just pick up a firearm, it reads who you are and doesn't recognize you, so it won't activate. You wouldn't be able to use it. But
nanomachines.
Having access to security and being very excited at the prospect of firearms, you waste little time in registering all of you as owning this firearm. So your shotgun will only work for you. If anyone else picks it up, they cannot use it. And the pistol will only work for you. If anyone picks it up and tries to use it, it will not work.
Gotcha.
Can they do like a joint custody thing?
Not unless
They're married.
I'm touching it. It's fine.
It's
Quick,
like,
marry me.
it's like an anime thing.
I just get on my knee in the middle of battle. Quick, marry me.
It's like the pottery scene where Ace's little rat hands come around and grab onto the
You
back
made
of
like
yours.
4 different references there.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Okay. You're all aware. The pistol has 20 shots. The shotgun has 15 shots in it before it would need to be recharged, or before it would need some sort of...
This thing has like a battery that like
Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
I can like do the thing and then
Okay, so
Take a battery.
let's go into explanation here. When you take your Apple eye shotgun, your eye blaster, when you hold on to the handle portion of it, the trigger comes out, and a hard light pump shows up on the front. You can grab onto that and cock this thing. You are familiar with, all of you are familiar with firearms and how they work.
Yes.
You're familiar with the idea behind a shotgun like this. You can naturally assume the limitations of this thing.
does it have like the Apple like tamper-proof stuff so that like other people can't do anything to it?
These things do look like seamless. It doesn't look like there's like a place exactly where you could like get into them or anything or pop them open. But to recharge these things, they seem to require being actually like, you know how people's electric cars have like batteries they hook up to the thing? This is, you take that and hook it up to the battery
You stick
and let
like
it
a
charge.
portable charger and you stick it onto like the little charging port.
Yeah, there would be portable chargers, although given the design, you would probably stick them on almost like silencers.
Can you fucking imagine though? You're the like gradual battery decay on a shotgun.
Somebody, you know, steals your shotgun or whatever and breaks it over their knee, and there's just a bunch of battery acid all over them.
Joke's on you. You have space cancer.
Oh no.
It's the same thing with the pistol. You stick the front end into a charger, and it would charge this thing. Although the actual stations are kind of kept to themselves. They're not exactly like hooked up to the power grid. You can take them off the wall. The ones in the police station, you can take them off the wall and carry them like backpacks. So you would imagine that like a squad of cops could go out. One person could literally put a charger on their back and then go out, and if anybody needed to recharge their guns, they just plug them into their back and charge them up.
I was way more thinking
Juice me.
along the lines of the police looking like the fucking Ghostbusters.
A little bit.
Something strange in your neighborhood.
There's only been strange shit.
It's a ghost.
There's only
ghost
been
just knocked
strange
down my
shit that's
bag.
been happening on
I
this
ain't afraid of
shit.
no sleep.
Yeah, I'm afraid no bed.
I'm afraid of no chocolate.
Okay. computers in this place. Very similar to the rest of the ship. You do find personal logs of people, different things. There has been several reports of people trying to get into the engine room. This is well before the time period of when the blackout happened. People seemingly were trying to get into the engine room, sneaking in, getting in there. So security has darn near tripled on the actual engine. Getting access to it is extremely difficult.
We did hear that there was trouble with people siphoning energy before, so
yeah,
probably related.
As well as you continue down the timeline, you do find that there's constant problems with people from the slums, essentially trying to more or less raid the midsection of the ship, the middle class area, coming up there, taking supplies, taking things that they can, and then running down into the slums, which, from reports of security, it's a maze down there of just homemade things. People have like broken down walls and created their own tunnel systems in the ship. It's a mess down there. It's gotten so out of hand that most of the security kind of just don't bother to go down there anymore. They'll just
Gary on the ship.
Yeah, they'll just lock the doors and seal off the entrance and just leave it at that. There's nothing illegal about these people coming up, but whenever they do come up, they're almost always there to do illegal things.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
you
a bit
can
classist,
you
but okay.
can sense that there's a lot of disdain between not only the people in the slums, but there's also a lot of like disdain for the people that live in the higher class area where you guys just were. Mainly because if any security guard were to go up there for any reason or whatever, they would find that that part of the ship basically has no idea what's going on anywhere else in the ship. They live in complete bliss and harmony,
Not
and
surprising.
seemingly want the impossible from whoever is up there, including security. If there's any problems, they want security to fix it. They want it to happen right away, and they want it to be done their way. So there's obvious tension between the classes. It seems like people treat each other really poorly on this ship.
It's just life.
And there's no, like... The only thing that seems to be certain socially is the fact that people will stay in their class of living. If you come to the eternity, you're middle class, you're middle class. You there's nothing you can do, no matter how much money you make, no matter what goes on. You can't move up. And
Once a slummy, always a slummy.
yeah. So there's a lot of resentment between everybody on board, and it seems super strange that this would not be like dealt with, or there would be any sort of like attempts at pulling the situation at all. Any attempts that seem to have been made, at least by the security, are stopped by top brass and all that.
This sounds like a better version of Fallout than the newest one was.
76.
76 or
No, not Fallout. BioShock.
BioShock? Oh, okay. Yes.
Just real quick, I was curious. Ace particularly wants to look at the reports.
Mm-hmm.
Two things he's looking into is one, he's trying to see if there's a name that comes up Willis at all.
Okay.
What you talk about, Willis?
Funny. The other thing is to see when this. I mean, it seems like this has been going on for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but he's trying to see if bringing that artifact on board may have been a cause.
Okay, so after looking for the name Willis, you do find there is an entry about a Willis coming down. It's someone who... The entry is fairly recent. When I say recent, I mean all entries stop when the supposed blackout happened, when the ship just completely shut down. And recently there was a someone from...
Pretty good.
If only I had been a little bit faster, I would have caught that.
A feline.
I love. You're pretty good.
I love. You're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
indeed.
A dog.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
hey, Quinn, come over here, bud. Come over here. You want to sit down? You want to help me DM? It's a good boy. Alright. Okay, so you find on the computer that there is a recent someone named Willis came down to the station to ask questions. They were asking questions about recent arrivals, all the suspicious stuff that's been going on. Whoever's writing this makes note of the fact that he seems really nosy. And
Asking these kind of questions likely to get you shot.
yeah. When they tried to get information about who he was very, like, cagey and wouldn't really give them a straight answer.
Okay.
The guy says that this dude was probably, like, an ex-cop or something like that. He gave that vibe. He's seen the type. Probably somebody who just can't, was forced to retire but can't put the job down, and so, whatever.
This may be our guy.
The other thing that you find is that there's been, within this same kind of vein, there's also been a few reports of recent splicing and hacking done to the ship in different locations and stuff. Somebody is just trying to get into the systems, get a bunch of information. They've been able to stop him, but they can't trace it back to whoever's been doing it or anything like that.
I gotcha.
I'm trying to remember. You had asked
Willis
that
and then the artifact
the artifact, right? Okay, so what had been happening? Roughly around the same time, actually a little bit after this Willis character was asking these questions. There's a full report on what happened. This is given from one of the workers for the cargo and airlock and all that. So they were flying through space as you do, and a object had shown up. Most likely was considered to be either space debris or some sort of asteroid or whatever. Not too much thought was put into it until it got within visual range, and when they got visuals on it, they found that it was this black box thing floating through space.
Okay.
Initial scans that were done on it showed that it was just a hollow box, but it was strange enough that they wanted to, at the very least, take a look at it.
Yeah.
So they brought it on board to take a look at it, and there seemed to be no way of opening it, and the material that it was made out of seemed unfamiliar.
I got it, guys. There's a space vampire.
This is Vampire the Masquerade, but it's not Vampire the Masquerade.
So the some of the science team that was brought down over to take a look at this thing tried to take some samples. They couldn't physically damage it to take any samples off of it. They couldn't do anything other than just look at it and scan it. The materials that it seemed to be made out of were the only thing they could really discern from it was just that it was old. It was old and most likely made out of some sort of processed terra firma materials and things like that. A Terran-like planet would have provided the materials to make whatever this was, but it's extremely old, whatever it is. The molecular dating on the thing says that it is ancient. Was there a little cat? Did I hear a cat? All right. So yeah, it's ancient. The initial question was to whether just it's trash, jettison it out, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe, hey, take a look at this thing. Science team obviously wants to take a look at this. It's essentially an artifact, more or less, of probably some old culture. Why it's floating out in space, things find their way in space. Who knows? But most of the crew didn't like it. A lot of people said they got strange feelings around it. They started hearing noises and they started having weird dreams. And there was a large push to just get rid of the thing. Eventually, enough of a conflict of interests, not conflict of interest, enough of butting of heads happened that until they could come to a conclusion on what they should actually do with the thing, they're just going to store it and more or less forget about it. Not that long after this happened is when the blackout happened. The days leading up to the blackout show tons and tons of increasing reports of attacks from people from the slums, as well as general just chaos. Things starting to break down all of a sudden. People going missing. And on top of that, there's some reports of serial killings.
Oh. I'm telling you, space vampire.
You say space vampire, but out of character I say it's actually necromorphs.
Oh. Well, here's the thing, space vampires. There's no daytime in space.
I mean,
I just had that thought, and it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that we pass by stars, which
There's technically always daytime in space.
Look, if this thing is an actual marker, this is actually what always happens in Dead Space, except nobody's turning into monsters.
So
Yeah, nobody's turning into anything, but there's obviously tensions reached a boiling point, and then something happened to the ship. The stuff that was going on was sabotage, riots, and serial killings of a particular nature.
bizarre.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna I'm probably pouring over the records and stuff like this. I'm gonna tell the group entirely about the Willis thing. Is gonna be my thing.
You're just gonna keep that?
Ace is not gonna say anything about that.
Okay.
But the artifact specifically, I actually I look towards Fish, and I'm like, would you know? I'm gonna read more.
Just a quick correction. It's a box, not an artifact. Artifact is from Dead Space.
Right. Sorry. Yes, copyright infringement. We can't
Well, I
have
mean,
that.
you were saying it's probably an artifact anyway, so.
It could be.
It's
So
a little marker inside the box.
But yeah. I mentioned how a lot of this, because I'm piecing it together, it seems like I have a feeling that this thing may or may not be somewhat responsible for what's been going on with the ship.
Okay.
It's very possible.
And then I'm like...
It is in this area, and there are all these dead robots and such.
That's why I'm worried. We're here.
The box is hacking.
We're here. We need to keep going and keep exploring, but we definitely need to be careful, especially if we start seeing things.
Look, there's already sentient chocolate bunnies attempting to kill me. I now have a gun. I think
You hear a ping from your... there's been movement detected.
I quickly put like a. I do
Tell them
that.
to hush.
I'm telling them to shut up. I point towards the door, and then
Is there a place I can hide near the door that?
So the door's partially broken in. It's like halfway open is the best way to describe it. It is a interior sliding door. So you could potentially use the door itself as cover.
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna cock my hard light shotgun,
Okay.
point it at the door, and I'm gonna go.
Do I make a stealth check for that?
Yeah, you go ahead and make a stealth
Can
check.
I help?
I didn't know you were trying to hide. I thought you were just taking cover.
Can I help?
An assistance? Yeah. If you want to stand right in direct line of sight of the
I'm
door.
absolutely standing there. I point my shotgun at the door, and I go, "Whoever the fuck is out there, you're gonna get blasted." And
That's a
I'll
20.
try to,
Okay.
and whatever bonus that conveys, I give it to Fish.
Okay. Well, as it stands, you're the only people that you're technically hiding from right now are the people in the room because no one can see could see you.
Yeah, I want to hide in a spot that gives me a vantage point.
Gotcha.
That I can jump out and attack if necessary.
You get no response.
I stay with my thing held. I go, "Does your can you see what your drone sees?"
Can
There's a specific upgrade for your drone that is a camera.
Yeah, but I don't believe you have that.
I don't think I do either.
What did you
So-
put on it?
I'll get back to you on that.
If it's a combat drone, all I know it has is dermal plating, 2 types of weapon slots, like mounts or arm blade, whatever you want. And then it also has something else.
It does not have weapons on it.
No.
Yeah, it's got slots to put weapons.
Yeah. So right now, your drone can ping you if it senses movement, but you can't see out of the drone's
Okay.
sensors per se.
Gotcha.
I mean, technically, if somebody were to, say, use magical means to connect with the drone, they could potentially use the drone's sensors to see what the drone is.
Man, who could do that?
I don't know.
Certainly not.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying it is a function that
What
you could
spells do
potentially
you
do.
have?
I whispered to Nade, my drone doesn't have anything for detecting anything. I can only sense movement. Something is out there. Or was
Is it?
out
I
there.
can detect magic.
Is it continuing to sense movement?
Would you like to?
Sure.
Okay. You detect magic.
Oh.
It seems to be lingering. It's not like there's an immediate like beacon of magic that's coming from a particular direction, but it just seems like a stench that's been left through the halls. of
Someone
the
left the
area.
magic shit here.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's permeating through the area. There is definitely something of magic happening in this area,
Perhaps related to the box.
perhaps. But again, time has moved on. There's still no your drone is not pinged again. There's still no response to anything. All of you guys are just holed up, waiting.
All right.
I'm about to kick this door in.
Just go ahead and go. I was
Again?
right. I was gonna say, Nate, why don't you go check it out, and then, well, I don't know that where Fish is at, but if Fish is nearby, she'll help you out.
I walk up and I try to kick open the door.
Why?
Okay. You walk up and you kick the door that slides into the wall,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't move because
Can
it's
I
broken.
kick it to the side?
So
You roundhouse kick it.
I'll paint the picture a little bit clearer here. So when you walk up to the door, about half of you is exposed. You could just look down the hallway if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
The door
You
slides
kick the door and someone
to,
shoots
to
you.
your right. The door would slide to your right into the wall. If you wanted to push it in there, it seems like the door would have done that automatically if not for the fact that it had been broken.
I stick the end of the scatter gun out and I peek out.
It's the hallway that you left it at. Nothing's changed. No one's waiting to get you.
Oh boy, I hope someone doesn't come out and attack little old me. I'm super vulnerable right now.
Since there doesn't seem to be anyone,
I want to roll a bluff.
Go for it.
Techno's gonna be like, I sense magic around here.
It's
I'm
a
not
14.
quite sure.
14.
There's something going on here.
Mothman?
You
Is
do.
that you?
I like that was your first thought.
You do a great job at you are confident in the fact that anybody heard you, they think I'm super defenseless right now. And oh boy, when they round that corner, they're gonna get it. So, okay, your stellar mote starts to dim.
Starts to dim.
It's essentially it's a little light, it's a little star that you've got.
Yeah.
But you can feel it starting to dim down. You get a feeling that if you don't do something, it's probably gonna you're a little anxious that it might disappear if you don't do something. So you instinctively just kind of clutch it and scramble a bit, and instinct taking over, you automatically change it to the black hole form.
Okay.
When you do so, it emanates. All of you can see this, that she changes the star and it closes in on itself and then comes back as a small black hole. There's a small a visual distortion around the area around it where the universe almost kind of pulls in for a second and then moves back to being into a normal state.
As of note, my ability that I chose at second level is Gravity Hold, which is a graviton, the black hole mode that gives me a telekinesis thing.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's a black orb marble now, and you look at it for a second, and then you see a slight greenish tinge come from the inside and slowly expand out and completely overtake the blackness of this thing, and it looks like a sickly green void as the radio playing overhead starts to distort and static starts to play. You all hear sounds of loud footsteps coming down the halls. And as the loud footsteps... You ready an attack. As the loud footsteps make their way down the hall, all of you hear... this song start to play over the radio. I would like all of you guys to make will saves.
My will save has gotten better. Faceless footsteps as yours. Oh, fuck. It's
14.
10,
11.
14, 11. Fish,
14.
14. All four of you pass out.
Nice.
Dang it.
And that's where we're cutting this one.
All I have to say is, haha, we're in danger.
This is fine.
I love first edition Yu-Gi-Oh card that has been played with the entire time.